in the hell could you possibly say in this scenario that more pressure is on Mike McCarthy than it is on Carson Wentz?
We're going to have to look at the Cowboys and say that team didn't quit. They're still playing. And the Eagles are a divisional rival. They can't just get rolled like they're not trying.
All right, guys, get excited. Sunday, prime time football. It is going to be Carson Wentz versus Ben DiNucci. Looking to claim the top spot in the NFC.
Back in '84.
I've never heard of a quarterback.
I love that.
Back in '84.
I mean, I thought Orlovsky was bad enough. The name Orlovsky at the quarterback position, and I love Dan. But a quarterback, if my quarterback's name is Orlovsky, I'm worried. That's just me.
Depends if he can play or not.
That's just me.
All right. Well, we just heard everything that was said yesterday. Max, you're really hard on Carson Wentz, but yesterday you said there is more pressure on Mike McCarthy than Carson Wentz. So 24 hours later, Stephen A., we gave him the time.
Yeah, because that was a ridiculous take on this part. I want to see if he's changed his mind.
You changed your mind?
Not at all. Look, the fact of the matter is I'm really hard on Carson Wentz. I'm the only one. There are two people hard on Carson Wentz, me and Howie Roseman in the Eagles front office.
Maybe his mother, too.
That's it. Like, Roseman looked at Wentz at the end of last year and said,
ouch.
Well, you know, your mom's always
his mama.
Well, I mean,
mom's always hard on his son.
She's saying that, you know, in order to become a professional athlete, you need high standards. There you go.
There you go.
The point is, the Eagles front office looked at Carson Wentz at the end of last year and they said, we got to draft a quarterback. We have to draft a quarterback in the second round. I don't want to hear anyone tell me any nonsense about they need depth at the position. They're veterans floating around. They can give you depth. Fitzgerald is, Ryan Fitzpatrick is always available, right? Someone like that is always available. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about, well, you draft a backup quarterback when you don't need one. You just gave a franchise contract, an elite contract to a 27-year-old quarterback. What do you mean? You're years away from needing to draft his replacement. But they drafted a quarterback in the second round when the best player available, the wideout they needed, C.D. Lamb, they could have packaged that pick and moved up and taken him. They decided not to. So the front office sees more soberly what's going on than anyone else, apparently, but me. Carson Wentz is good for one amazing Patrick Mahomes-level throw a game, 3 or 4 good ones, and the rest are questionable at best. Now, Stephen A., Mike McCarthy, everyone's on him. Everyone's on McCarthy, right? The pressure, if Carson Wentz goes out and does what he normally does, by the way, I'm going to take him in DraftKings, I think, this week. Why not? He's playing the Cowboys defense, right? If he loses, or it's not even loses. I don't think that the Eagles are going to lose. But if he doesn't look good, there'll be excuses. Look at all the drop passes. Look at all the injuries. The Cowboys were motivated. They played for whatever it is. All I hear week in and week out about Wentz are excuses for his play, which is not bad. It's middle of the pack quarterback play for an elite talent who's being paid like an elite talent. Mike McCarthy, everyone's on him. They're calling for his job. And you, Stephen A., you of all people, you said, fire him now. You don't even want to wait till the end of the season. And you know why you said that? The same reason people were talking about Brian Flores beginning of last year. Because the Dolphins looked like they quit. We were wrong. Brian Flores can coach. Because by the end of the year, they beat the Patriots in a must-have game for the Patriots, right? But early on, we were saying, is this the worst team ever? The team looks like it quit. And that's what we're saying about the Cowboys now. And if McCarthy, you don't have to win, but if he doesn't get them playing like it looks like they want to win, he's in trouble. Well, Stephen A. Smith will come out here and say, get rid of him this week.
First of all, you're wrong. You're wrong in this respect. First of all, you brought up Brian Flores. You can't compare the two situations. Chris Greer, an African-American GM running the Miami Dolphins. Clearly, they were retooling. Obviously, they were accumulating draft picks and unloading players. So when we talked about players that quit, we also knew that the players that they had were relative scrubs compared to the kind of guys that they would accumulate. They were in complete rebuilding mode. They weren't signing dudes to contract. They were unloading contracts. Jerry Jones signing dudes. So the two situations don't compare. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to say this again. If Carson Wentz loses a game to these Dallas Cowboys, it'll be a disaster. Let me remind everybody. Dallas Cowboys, dead last in points allowed, dead last in rushing yards allowed. One of the top 5 worst teams defense in yards allowed, period. No secondary. Barely a pass rush for crying out loud. Linebackers have been injured and debilitated. Their offense First of all, Dak Prescott is gone. The offensive line, 4 or 5 dudes are subs because their starting 5 is out. You've got all of that going on. You got a head coach, all right, that isn't resonating with the players. You got a defensive coordinator that's hiding in press conferences getting Tabasco sauce in his eye. You know what I'm saying? What the hell?
Hold on, they're going to ask me a question.
Oh, my goodness. I need a break. 3 minutes, okay? You got an owner, GM, and president in Jerry Jones cussing out radio hosts, all right?
Man.
And you have a quarterback who's a third stringer named DiNucci, okay? And you're Carson Wentz, and you go out and lose to that? I assure you, it will be an unmitigated disaster for them. And
can they lose?
Philadelphia, my second home. Philadelphia, my second home. I can't imagine.
Can the Eagles lose this game?
I can't imagine.
Right, I can't imagine it either. So Carson Wentz can look any which way.
If they lose it, if they lose this game,
I can't imagine that they can.
Let me tell you, if they lose this game. If they lose this game,
that's a different
Carson
story.
Wentz won't live it down, man.
That doesn't mean there's more pressure on him. I don't think they can lose.
I think. Listen, I think it is more pressure. You got to win this game. That's what I'm trying to say. When you talk about pressure, I'm talking about you got to win this game.
About that we agree.
Well, on Monday we'll have the outcome of that game. We'll see how Max responds once that information comes in.
Carson Wentz has lost to DiNucci.
They're going to ask me some questions about the defense.
Okay, guys, we got to wrap up this segment because we have our good friend Tim Tebow coming on to join us to talk a little college football coming up. Also going to be talking about how Trevor Lawrence having COVID-19 will affect the Clemson Tigers going forward. Keep it locked right here to First Take.
It's the best rivalry game in the NFL.
We know what's coming up next week. We can throw the records and all the other stuff out the window.
We feel like we can be a truly special defense.
He's hit. He's sacked.
I'm just ready to play football, get this done.
Touchdown, Ravens. Let's go.
We're back in the kitchen, man. It's AFC North ball.
It's going to be a lights out game.
On Sunday, it is a battle for the AFC North. As we know, the Steelers have really sweated it out. Stephen A., what's up?
I gotta interrupt. I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
Why is Ryan looking into the camera like he's still playing safety about to hit somebody?
Maybe he is.
I mean, damn. What's up, bro? It's Friday. You on first
Hey, I was
take?
listening.
I'm just checking.
Ravens
He was
got him in
looking
the
at me
mood.
and Steelers, Ravens, and all. I mean, look, man. I was just looking at you like, damn. Who's he about to
I was
hit?
listening to the build-up.
Okay.
Hey, I was
I'm just
listening to
saying.
the build-up, man. It
I'm
got me
just saying.
fired up.
Let me get to that build-up, guys.
saying.
It is a
I'm
big
checking.
build-up.
Yeah.
I'm checking.
Lamar Jackson's neither one of us is Lamar Jackson. Calm down.
All right, I'm gonna take it from here,
Yeah, I
guys.
got it.
The Steelers have sweated it out. They are the last unbeaten team in the NFL, but that status, of course, going to be tested on Sunday. They go to visit the Ravens, who are 5-1 and also fresh off of a bye week. So he needs no introduction at this point. Ryan Clark is here to join us for this conversation. But Stephen A., let's start with you here. Will a loss be a big deal to either team?
First of all, as an aside, let me say this. First take in every show is always better when Ryan Clark
agree
is
with
on
that.
the air. That's my brother right there.
Appreciate you, my dog.
Let me just be very, very clear about that. Having said that, the Steelers traded that he is, okay? Let me say this. When you really, really think about this, when I said, listen, when you're talking about whoever loses this game, the bigger impact, to me, it depends on how the Ravens lose. Max, to me, it's all about Lamar Jackson. I don't care. Listen, I care about the outcome from the standpoint I'm a Steelers fan, and I'm rooting for the Steelers, and I'm picking them to win this game. But what I'm saying is this. Steelers defense is going to show up. We all know if you watch Bart Scott on this morning with Keyshawn and Jay Williams and I mean, this brother Bart Scott just crystallized for you what the Steelers Ravens.
These brothers are all ready to play. Ryan Clark, everyone in this rivalry is ready to play.
So it's special. So it's a beautiful thing because you're playing smash mouth football and it's about what time is it? It's me against you. Let's get it on. And so you expect. They're going to have their moments, but you expect a nail biter. You expect, spectacular things to take place. Just smash mouth football, rather. Here's what I'm looking for. Lamar Jackson is the quarterback of the 31st ranked passing team in the National Football League. That is second to last for those of you who don't know. There's 32 teams in the National Football League. When you the 31st, when you rank 31, that means only one team in the entire NFL is worse than you. I'm looking for Lamar Jackson to see what he does in this game. You know what? You can win 20-17. You can win 27-24. You can win 30-20, whatever. What I'm saying is he can't have a horrible